So, Craig, massive welcome back to Gloucestershire. It's great to see you back in Gloucestershire colours. How have you been settling and sort of coming back full time?
Yeah, it's been really good. At the moment, I'm just down a couple of days a week, just moving back down, sort of house move going through and stuff. But yeah, it's been really good. There's a decent group of lads around at the minute. I think obviously there's a few away, but generally there's been a good core of 8 to 10 of us here and there. Obviously some good familiar faces in there as well. So yeah, it's kind of felt good to be back at Bristol and back around some guys that I know pretty well.
Yeah, you touched on it there a bit about sort of being here only a couple of days a week. What's your current life situation? And I've heard your wife's pregnant.
Yeah. So it's all kind of happening, I suppose. Yeah, moving back here from a cricket perspective. Moving obviously house as well. So that's going through, which is generally probably pretty stressful at the best of times. But yeah, and my wife's pregnant as well. So yeah, expecting our first child soon. So yeah, it's all systems go, I suppose. But obviously, really exciting times ahead on all fronts. So yeah, a good period coming up.
A lot's changed since you were last here. How's it been working under sort of Mark Lane and obviously Mark Thorburn, the senior coach?
Yeah, so I've known Thorby a long time. From my first coming through the academy and bits and pieces, and obviously coming into the professional team as an 18-year-old. So I've worked with him a lot. He knows me quite well, so it's good to get back working with him. And then in terms of working with Mark Lane, he's someone that hadn't really come across loads before. So it's just about getting to know him getting to know me, and just trying to form a good relationship, and hopefully working with him and get the best out of me.
You joined us for the One Day Cup campaign in the 25 season. How was that, and has that sort of softened the move back, and sort of how's it been, and how was that campaign as a whole for you?
Yeah, as soon as that was a possibility, I was really keen to do that, knowing I was going to be coming back, full time. It was great just to get feel for sort of, obviously Mark Lane wasn't the coach, Mark Thorburn was running that, but get a feel for how the lads were operating, and it was quite a successful campaign, and certainly in the group stages, we were pretty dominant. I think the talent of the group, particularly in one day cricket for Gloucestershire, has always been there, and I think it'll continue certainly under Boo Boo. So it's a good experience just to get back playing a bit of regular cricket, I suppose, and playing again with the guys that I've known well, and seeing, I suppose, how far those guys have come since I've been away from Bristol.
You signed for John Lewis was announced as sporting director, and his influence. What were your motivations for joining Gloucestershire? There are obviously lots of suitors. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess there's several things I could probably list. I know Louis a little bit just from I made my debut as a 16-year-old. Louis was in the team, and having come across him a little bit when I was on the academy and kind of breaking through into the kind of the second team and being around the professional setup a bit more. So I know him a little bit. We're both grown up from the same area, so that's that link as well, which is pretty cool. And he was obviously in a consultancy role during that 50 over. So obviously he's been around a bit more. He's probably getting used to a slightly different role, being director of cricket. But from what I've seen so far, and a couple of the signings that have been announced, and just chatting to him, I think he's got some good ideas of where he wants to push the club, and where he feels like he can put his stamp on it, and make some good changes around the ground.
Many fans and members have some fond memories of the 2015 season, and obviously you were part of that One Day Cup winning squad. Do you want to speak to us a bit about that, and tell us about sort of your memories of that day?
Yeah, I always think back in terms of personally, I think I bowled 3 overs. I was part of the hat trick that Jay Dernbach got, so actually my contribution to that day was pretty small. So I almost felt like one of the Gloucester fans in the stand that day, but I had a front row seat being out there on the field from a personal perspective. But it's an amazing day. I think it's a shame that the Lords isn't used as a 50 over final now. I understand why, but I think that's to say that you played in a Lords final and come out victorious as well. And there's some very good Gloucester legends in that team like Michael Klinger and Hamish Marshall, and still a few of the boys like Jack and obviously Smudge having transitioned into the coaching role. So, you know, it was a great day. I just remember that feeling, and Jack took that catch at the end, and you know, everybody not sure what to do and where to run and celebrate. But I remember, you know, a really good Gloucester following that day in the stand opposite side of the pavilion.
Heading into the 26th season, you're obviously now a very seasoned county championship cricketer. What are your aims going into the season in all formats?
Oh yeah, I just want to contribute winning matches. I guess that's a little bit cliche, but yeah, I think just back playing some regular cricket in all forms. Obviously, like I say, I played quite a lot of cricket now, so hopefully I can you know, add some value to some of the younger guys coming through, and yeah, just ultimately just go out there and give my all to try and win some games, and yeah, challenge in all formats. I think the core of the squad is brilliant. I never doubted that when I was here originally, and even watching from afar now, like there's some really talented players in this group. It's probably just believing that we can go all the way in Championship cricket, get into Division 1, and then also, you know, having seen the success of 2024, there's a hell of a T20 team in there as well. So if I can add to that and contribute in one way or another, I think I'll be pretty happy come the end of next summer.
Tom Smith is obviously transitioned from a player to now a full-time coach within the squad, and you obviously played with him prior to moving away. How's it been having him as a coach and his face still around, even though it's a different role?
Yeah, it's cool. So, you know, Smudge has played a lot of cricket as well. I know he's been doing, you know, a lot of coaching in and around his final few years of playing. So, you know, he's transitioning into that himself, but he's also had good experiences of that already as well. So I've no doubt that he can add great value and you know, help the younger players, some young spinners transition into becoming, you know, great players for Gloucestershire as well. So yeah, I think it's brilliant. It's someone that knows the club really well. It's someone that knows what's needed of professional cricket. So yeah, I look forward to continuing working with him. But him as a coach instead of a fellow teammate.
Perfect. Thanks very much, and we look forward to seeing you out there next season.
Cheers.